Welcome back, everybody. I have a little bit of a cold, but yeah, welcome back to More No More Future. This future is no more, but I think we got more future going on with this series and this video. But yeah, I'm getting a bit more intrigued, and my voice sounds stuffy and weird, so I am sorry for that. In regards, going back to the game where we left off, we were talking to our shadowy friend here, Mr. Mrs. It question mark. My apologies. I didn't mean to offend you. I was merely describing your predicament as I understood it. I think I read that before. Yeah. In stark contrast to your fiery tone, the entity's speech remains as bland and monotone as ever. Befitting more a statement of fact than an opinion, it's unusual enough to make you back away for a moment and genuinely reconsider your approach. Upon giving it some more thought, you have to admit that is an objective description of your moral quandary, the most unbiased outlook you've heard from a stranger since becoming a synthetic. And the thought is quite surprising, to say the least. So, you really don't have an opinion on it? No, I do not. I cannot comment on things I know nothing about, whether you have a soul or not. That is not something I know. That is not for me to decide. Oh, oh, interesting wordings there. That is not for me to decide. What about you watching on your screen right now? Do you have a soul? What is a soul? They do say it's the most important thing of being alive. So it's got to be something that we absolutely know to proudly say it is important. Wow, that's certainly odd. Someone who won't side on this matter one way or the other. That's gotta be a first. You hesitate to take this person at their word, if only instinctually. Given how little you know about them, everything they say should probably be taken with a fair few grains of salt, at the very least. On the other hand, you can't think of many reasons not to believe them. After all, you've seen firsthand just how eager most people are to pick a side in this discussion, despite knowing just as much about it as you do. That is smart. Remember, everyone, if you're being interviewed, doesn't matter if it's being television or live. If they ask you a question you don't know, you can always ask back. Can you give me more information about this inquiry or this discussion, this topic? Because I'm not familiar with it. So maybe I don't have an opinion form coming from it because I don't know much about it. Right? So then some motherfucker just comes in there and say, hey, oh, what? That's a shitty ass answer. Well, you should have asked me, and all that shit. They won't have any. Well, you won't have any excuses. They won't have any excuses. This is a matter formed from your own opinion that may lack the proper tensions or attention to details or information regarding it. Man, I sound stupid. Going back to the game, in a way, this person's decision not to involve themselves in something they don't have a clue about feels refreshing, you could say. But believing them means believing everything they shared with you just now, including all the things they implied rather than said. Ooh. And how did you gather all this? How did you know that issue bothered me so much? You asked, an inquisitive and slightly irritated look on your visor. The entity averts its gaze from you temporarily, delaying their answer as much as they can. Seeing this, you insist. That's a good question. How does it know? How do you know? How do you know? You've been spying on me, haven't you? I have been following you? That's literally what spying means. You angrily correct them, though that doesn't seem to bother them much. Oh, sorry. So you move on. Okay. For how long? Since you first crossed paths with that boy. I've been watching you ever since. Holy shit. Ever since when? But how? Other than our first meeting at Daphne's place and that time on the train, I don't think I've ever seen you anywhere. I was around, just slightly out of reach. And no one ever saw you? Isaac is a fucking shadow person. He can literally go through cracks. Anything that's light, any body that casts a shadow, it can easily get in there like it's motherfucking swimwear. Again, they pause, wondering how best to explain themselves. If you were a shadow person following me around or anyone around, how would you explain yourselves when you get caught by that person? Comment down below, huh? Wait, that's just stalking. What the hell? Most people don't want to see me, which makes blending in a lot easier. That's true. But when the shadow starts to move weirdly, you're like, I didn't see nothing. Gotta keep it normal. If it's an actual demon or gabagool or ghoulie ghoul of the night, you don't wanna know. You don't want to spook it. You don't want to make it more active. You could say it comes naturally to me to keep to myself, or you could say it comes naturally to others to ignore me. Okay. Those sure are words in an order that barely makes sense. Doesn't sound like gibberish, but man, is it confusing? Are they doing this on purpose? I'm sorry for my cold. I'm like, I might have to sneeze this fuck. It's stuffy. It's stuffed like a turkey. Purposely or not, it doesn't seem like they're particularly keen on explaining themselves any more clearly. Ew, I don't like this voice, man. So you decide a more direct approach is in order. Alright, let me get this straight. Our meeting that night, it wasn't an accident, was it? You didn't accidentally stumble onto me back then. The only reason you found me was because you were already stalking Apollo. The thought is concerning, to say the least, but you're clearly alone in thinking that, as the shade shows no reaction to your accusatory tone. I never claimed it was an accident. I don't believe in that sort of thing. But you are correct otherwise, all but for one detail. I wasn't stalking the boy. I was looking out for him. Right. What the EDP kind of excuse is that, huh? And yet they didn't intervene when he got jumped by those thugs, leaving you to do so in their stead. Had it not been for your actions that night, who knows what might have happened? Regardless, you've heard enough for now. While you'd certainly like to rub that detail to what you assume is their face, there's another question you must ask that just cannot be delayed any longer. Ooh, what that question might be. Just who are you really? Or what are you? Again, you ask, point blank, ready yourself for a fight. No one. No one worth talking about. Holy shit, is this me? Sleepyheads, comment down below. Is this how I talk? No one worth talking about. No one worth learning about. Holy shit. And yet here you are now, talking to me. Doesn't sound like something a no one would do, does it? You cut them off curtly and decisively, unwilling to let them wiggle out of this so easily. Who I am is not important. What is important is what I'm here for. And you expect me to listen when I don't even know who the fuck you are? You can be sure due to all the fogginess going on with them, but you're fairly certain you're beginning to see cracks in your interlocutor's resolve. Interesting word, interlocutor. I could just make my point, then leave. Whether you believe me or not is for you to decide. Is it really now? Are you really fine with me not listening? You taunt them once more, earning nothing but silence in return. But that is all the proof you need that your words are having an effect, that your intuition is right. Just come out and say it already. You want something from me, don't you? Silence once more, yet further confirmation you didn't need. Right, of course. Why else meet me here, alone, after everything I just heard tonight? Well, get in line, buddy. The queue is long, and of all the people who want to involve me in their agendas, you're the one I know the least about. So if you really think what you want to tell me is that important, you better start talking and fast. The entity's gaze begins to shift ever to the side, more conscious than ever that they're on the losing side of this discussion. Women, am I right? I'm kidding. It's synthetics, am I right? Is what it is. When the reply inevitably arrives, you find their tone is distinctly more yielding than it was earlier. I could say I only wish to ask a query of you and not a favor, but that would be a lie in spirit, and so I shall ask. Is my answer truly necessary, my friend? It is to me. Ooh, I gotta be honest, Isaac. You're like, no offense to women, the ladies out there, I'll be honest, it's an astute observation. And yes, you can make observations of the male friends or male counterparts of, of people But I've noticed most females is gonna be kind of sexist. They're not gonna, they're stubborn. Let's go with that. Stubborn in a good and a bad way. Good way if it's a discussion, bad. Oh no, bad way if it's a discussion. Good way if it's a investigative something, whatever. Right? They're relentless. But when it comes to like who's right or wrong, you gotta give an answer. You're all if you're the significant other, you're the male, you're the husband. No, you are the guy for the job. You really can't. You have to take the L. I'm sorry. This is what it is. Seeing the determined, unflinching look in your eyes, the entity finally relents. With a surprisingly audible sigh, they speak proudly once more. Very well. If you must put the name to my face, then you may call me Death. Uh, do you mean metaphorically, hypothetically, spiritually, or all that? Or are you just talking about death straight up? Oh, reminds me of Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. My man who voiced death was exquisite. But yeah, going back to it, a long, painful silence overtakes the hallway. You can feel your sights blinking on and off in disbelief as your mind practically shuts down from the sheer stupidity of the situation. No, you remember? Oh my God, he is a woman. Oh my, holy shit! You're more of a. I don't want to say it. He has more of a feminine charm to him. This kind of personality, Isaac. I'm not even joking. No, man is stubborn. This is why I like these characters. You reply, prompting confusion from the entity. No? What do you mean with... No, I'm not calling you that. Sorry. Why not? Because it's too dumb. Are you kidding me? Who the hell goes up to people and says, "Hi, I'm Death. Nice to meet you." Are you out of your mind? You nearly screamed into their face, more upset than you thought you'd be. I see. You don't like the name I chose. That case, perhaps I could go by Darkness. Oh my God. I think Isaac be like, I need a name, my man. Not some kind of like, Chunibyo kind of thing. Not some kind of like 6th grade syndrome here. The urge to slap yourself in the face and try to wake up from this ridiculous nightmare is quite considerable indeed. How about you don't? How about that, huh? How about not death, not darkness? I'm loving this conversation. It's an eye-opener right here. And for crying out loud, I didn't ask for a nickname. I asked for your actual name, for God's sake. I was trying to preserve my privacy. Your privacy? I'm trying to preserve my sanity here. Gosh, darn it, man. Again, they pause, and already you can tell that nothing good is going to come out of their lips next. If that's not an option, I could always go by Don't tell me to call you Damon or Demon or any other nonsense like that. You shout, instantly quieting down the shade. This is a cutie conversation we got here. Are there any names on your list that you did steal off a Warm Topic clothing line? They showed no reaction to your clear provocation, and it's unclear whether that is because they know they've been caught in the act or simply don't know what clothing store you're even talking about. I think a bit of both. Yeah, the sniffles aren't leaving me right now, sleepyheads. That's why I said the uploads are gonna be delayed because I'm gonna be hella busy and I'm gonna be hella sick. And I can't do all three, which is do this. Or maybe I can. I ain't no pussy. It'll be the death of me if I don't create an upload today or tomorrow. When? Nonetheless, it's clear this inquiry has sapped all energy out of you, as well as any shred of respect you still had for this weirdo. I can't believe it. I'm actually speechless. All this time, I was afraid of a dork. The shadow whose name you won't take seriously tilts its head at you, seemingly perplexed. Perplexed means confused, or confused at the event or the thing that they're looking at, or the thing that they're part of. A dork, you say? I believe someone once called me that a long time ago, though I don't believe they ever told me what that meant. Could you explain? Rather than answer the question presented to you, you raise a hand to cover your face and shake it wildly in disbelief, unimpressed like never before. Yeah, no, this is a joke. This is not what I need right now. I'm tired of dealing with this nonsense. I'm heading back inside. You make us have to turn around and walk away from the conversation, but the shade's quick to react. You shouldn't do that. Well, I am. Deal with it. Oh my god. It's like the angry girlfriend thing. What the hell? Your frustrated hand reaches for the handle to the door, ready to put an end to this farce once and for all. But before you can step back into your friend's apartment, wait. Huh. Uh-oh. The entity's voice beckons you once again, prompting you to stop. You tilt your head back to face them, an unimpressed look on your face. Your hands still half clinging to the handle, ready to push onward should they back out of their unspoken commitment. The shade pauses for the briefest of moments, a timid sigh escaping their lips without their notice. Then, with newfound resolution in their eyes, they speak to you once more. The name is Dante. My name, that is. Well, there we go. Was it that hard? That's actually quite a cool name. Dante. Devil May Cry. Dante's Inferno. Dante's Divine Comedy. You let the name linger in the air for a while, giving your mind ample time to review it in peace. And that's her name? It is what you asked of me, no? Or is the truth not to your liking either? He replies with a certain impatience, or what appears like it, which in turn earns him an equally condescending reply. Is it really so wrong of me to ask for some clarity for once? You're the one who approached me, for crying out loud. I shouldn't have to wade through oceans of mud just to figure out who I'm talking to. Yo, the air of entitlement with Isaac now. Wow. But then again, the man has had it rough for the past few days. Correcto me if I am incorrecto. Ew, that made no sense. The fog around his figure appears to expand for a moment, reaching just short of the ceiling above, then retracts just as quickly, soon after he speaks again. You're right. You're right, of course. In hindsight, it's obvious. I expected this conversation to be quick and to the point, but that was simply foolishness on my behalf. After a brief moment of silence, he readjusts his gaze on you as he explains. Who I am beyond my name is of no concern to you. I have no intent to divulge any further than I already have. However, if it is my motives that intrigue you, those I am willing to shed light upon. This man keeps on fucking talking with circles and riddles and squares. This individual's aversion to compromise is certainly something, alright? Though it's not at all unfamiliar, considering the crowds you orbit nowadays. Ooh, throwing shade with Mary and with, her and him and the you could try to make him budge the hard way again, but perhaps it'd be wiser to play along with him for a while, if only to avoid another round of second-hand embarrassment. Alright then, I'm all ears. What do you want? Despite the question being exactly what he was asking for, Dante hesitates to answer right away. Instead, he turns his gaze to the door he came from, as if to emphasize what he's about to say. Those children, the ones who've come to know in your brief time together, I wish to see them safe and sound. Do you want to protect them? You reiterate, almost disappointed by the answer you gave. Yeah, I thought it was going to be something grand, something... Whoa, that's fucking blowing my mind. I'm about to bust a fat one all over my screen and keyboard. Going back to the game, or perhaps just skeptical. And that's all you want. With regards to you, yes. But why? What do you gain from that? No more than you do. Peace of mind, I suppose. I should say. Oh wait, I suppose I should say. My dumb mind just stopped and decided to create a fucking comma between those two phrases. Or words. And why do you care so much about them? More hesitation. That's the question we've been trying to get to. And that hesitation only invites more speculation. Are you like related or something? Related. They repeat after you, pondering over the word and its myriad implications. That's true. In the loosest meaning of the term, perhaps, the connected would likely sum it best. Simply put, they remind me of myself, the me that used to be, the me that went down a road very similar to the one they've embarked on. One I'd rather they steer clear of. Oh my god, what a load of poetry. Yeah, I was like, this guy's talking riddles. Welcome back, everyone. A quick cut. I took I sneezed. I tried to clear my nose. Oh my goodness, my nose said F off. Yup. So yeah. So you mean to say you've been in their shoes? Not quite exactly, but enough so to find it concerning. So this man loves to speak, or this thing, Dante here, likes speaking in circles, in riddles, in poetry. He man wants or thing wants to go straight to the point, and yet motherfucker ain't even straight in getting to the point. That's what I'm trying to talk about there. Okay, let's not get it twisted, you know. And I'm sure I'm not the only one to think so, that their hardships are only going to increase, that they're heading down the road to ruin. Indeed, foggy as the entity's words are, their truth is undeniable. If nothing changes, if no one does something, it's only a matter of time before your friends fall to the monsters hunting them. Of course, you still can't be sure of this person's true intentions. There's ample room for misdirection in the maze of words is set before you. But considering you concur in his assessment, then at least for now. I guess we do want the same thing after all. Hmm. He mutters under his breath, his gaze piercing through you as though you were invisible, until at last he speaks again. Do we now? Oh, 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 the misery. Everyone wants to be my enemy. The question's short and to the point, yet you'd be lying if you said it wasn't their most unnerving one yet. Not to mention confusing. What are you talking about? We literally just went over this. I know I want to help my friends, and I got the feeling you did as well. I do want to help them. Dante cuts you off as he clarifies his point. Do you? Is the question. And why wouldn't I want to protect them? You ask, genuinely offended as you peer into the void that is your interlocutor. Because it would be against your interest to do so. The words linger in the air like a minefield, triggering an equal amount of tension and disbelief within you. That shook him to his core. Why would it be so if it wasn't the truth? Ooh, my God. My goodness. This freaking game's script pops off. Man, woman, man, woman. Yeah. What? What is that supposed to mean? Is that supposed to be a threat? Of course not. It is simply a statement of fact. A statement of what the hell are you talking about now? You ask with increased fervor as an unspoken fear begins to expand within you. You forget I was there on the day you first met with those children. He states rather calmly, the middle of your outburst. I remember what you said back then. Do you? You said you wish to return to your old family, to your old life, to your old world. And it wasn't the only time you did so either. You told the same to anyone who asked since. In fact, it's the whole reason you left that company and crawled your way back into this world, is it not? Ooh, this man hit us with a haymaker straight to the coco right there, you know? Right in the heart. Heartsu. Soul. Crazy, man. Crazy. Holy shit, that's some soul there, brother. It's the whole reason. Yeah, damn. Yeah. So what? What's that got to do with anything? You ask, even as that fear from earlier coalesces more and more into a tangible form, like a thought you dare not think, words you dare not speak. Seeing the doubt beginning to take shape on her visor, Dante speaks once again with frightening simplicity. So you're at an impasse. Clearly, you realize this yourself. You claim to seek peace and a normal life, but you'll find none of it here, not with them. Every day you spend by their side will be fraught with danger. You will be hunted everywhere you go, never knowing when your enemies might strike, or which fight will be your last. And each step you take down this road will lead you further and further away from your original goal. You may never be able to return to the life you knew. So he concludes, his words sinking into her heart like an epitaph on a tombstone. I can't stay with them, you mutter in disbelief, the truth you so desperately sought to run away from. Not if you truly wish to go back to the way things were. There's no space for those children in the world you came from. Everything Dante said makes perfect sense. So much so it hurts. I do want to go back. I want to see my family again and talk with them and be with them. But I don't want to leave my friends behind either. Why? We've only known them for so little. True. Who cares? You borderline shout your unchecked emotions finally. Oh, wait. You borderline shout your unchecked emotions finally getting the best of you. They're good people. They're my friends. I may not have known them for long, but that doesn't change anything. I want to spend more time with them. I want to get to know them and hang with them and have fun together. Show them life isn't all about fighting or flighting, whatever. That there's other things, other people out there too. Is that really so wrong? You gaze into the shade's bloody red eyes, almost as if begging for help. But only the brutal truth answers back. That is not the right question. True. He flatly states, leaving you alone with your thoughts. You lower your head to face the ground, your hands tightening into fists, and all the while a single, inevitable question pokes its way around your head. What should you do? Ow! You feel a door slamming into you with impressive force, startling you right out of your thoughts. Yeah, I knew it. Isaac! Daphne's head emerges from behind the doorframe, an irate expression on her face. Can you get the hell out of my way already? Oh, sorry. You hastily do as instructed, allowing the human to finally exit their apartment. She makes sure to close the door behind her, albeit nowhere near as forcefully she opened it. Maybe she's like, so what the fuck are you yapping about with Mr. Shade over there, huh? Protection? The only protection you need is a car. I'm kidding, man. Even so, you can feel the tension practically emanating from her. So this is where you ran off to. I was wondering why you weren't in the living room when I passed by. Aw. I didn't run off. I needed a break, you know? You half-heartedly tell her, trying and failing to reciprocate her boldness. You reckon it'd probably help if you actually believed what you said. Your terrible excuses aside, now that she's out here, you realize something's amiss. Something about Daphne's behavior strikes you as a little odd. And it's probably related to him. Man. He's been staring at the two of you since your friend entered the picture, but Daphne's yet to notice him. He might not be speaking right now, but he's not exactly far away either, and his presence is definitely hard to miss. His words from earlier come back to mind. Something about not wanting to be seen or others not wanting to see him. It sounded like gibberish back then, but could it be? You must be really frazzle-dazzled right now to take that nonsense seriously. Not wanting to waste any more time worrying about that, you refocus your attention into the human at your side. I take it you also needed a break. Your question is a bit sudden, but Daphne seems ready for it. Yeah, you could say that again. Tonight's just been one roller coaster after another. I really needed a breath of fresh air. Well, As fresh as it gets without stepping outside, I mean. A half-hearted chuckle escapes your lips, but it's born more of stress than of entertainment. You're not exactly in the mood for humor right now. I'm surprised you didn't cast Mary out. Instead, with how the discussion was going when I left, I thought, oh, no, I wasn't going to do that. If I tossed her out, I doubt she'd talk to us again. And I'm not sure I want that right now. That's certainly unusual. With how belligerent she was earlier, you would have thought she would have just jumped at the chance to rid herself of the scientist. The mad scientist Mary. I gotta stop being overactive right here. Not reactive, overactive. Not that you can not that you can say you were aware you were of much help in that regard. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left you like that. Mary's a good person, and she means well, but she can be a handful sometimes. And by that, I mean all the time. You explain, even though you don't care for her forgiveness. With or without it, you still feel like you failed both Mary and her. But that's why I should have been in there with you. You deserve to meet her at her best, not her worst. Had I tried to step in one more, you already tried, it didn't help. Daphne stops you, surprisingly, understanding for a change. But then she says something truly jaw-dropping. Because the problem isn't Mary, it's me. Oh my god. Is this... Nah, who, alright, what did you do with... What did you do with Daphne? Who is this? A synthetic? Damn, they're really good at making synthetics now, even humans, huh? She utters the words so fast. You almost don't hear them. And even when you do, you question whether you really heard that right. It's only when she speaks again that you realize she truly meant that jab at herself. Sorry, I almost said myself, my bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Her ego's too big for her own good, and she could use a few slaps on the cheeks, but... At the end of the day, I'm the one who freaked out. I'm the one who escalated things when I shouldn't have. And for what? Oh god, I'm about to sneeze, my man. She asks rhetorically, shaking her head. She immediately continues. I got the sniffles, it's so bad. I mean, objectively speaking, what she's offering us is good, great even. A place where me and Apollo can live in peace, free from the mob. A way for her to go back to her life and no longer be dragged into our battles. That's everything I could have wanted. So why can't I just accept it? Because deep down, you don't want any help. You need help, but you don't want it. Now that's the problem right there. You've been so independent all your life. Now that there's someone here to make you dependent on them? My god. How could you? She asks again, further retreating into herself. Hoping to help, you try to provide her some solace, as well as the answer she's looking for. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe you just think the offer's too good to be true. I mean, that's what worried you back there, wasn't it? What got you so upset? Daphne's reply hesitates to come out, but the dour look she's giving the floor seems to confirm your suspicions. Even if she really wants to help us, who says we'll really be safe at her facility? Who says the people there will treat us any different than all those others out there? And what if her goal is just to get us away from you? What if she goes back on her word and tosses us back into the streets once we're out of your sight? What if she straight up sells us off to those men just to make sure we'll never cause trouble for her again? Huh. She wouldn't. You begin to mouth a defense only to stop at the last moment. You might think Mary's not that kind of person, but you've nothing to prove this to the human with aside from your word. And considering everything she and her brother went through, you can't exactly blame her for being skeptical of a stranger. The way the scientist conducted herself earlier definitely didn't help either. She wouldn't. That's what you believe, isn't it? In the midst of your train of thought, a sorrowful Daphne tries to interject. I want to believe that as well. My brain's telling me, screaming at me, to just give in for once and let her help. Only for my heart to have the last say and warn me against it. Showing me images of my house on fire with my mom inside every time I consider it. I've already lost my parents to those men. I don't want to lose my brother as well. I can't. She tries to shout, but the words die in her throat once again. You know she wouldn't like it, but it's hard not to feel some sort of sympathy towards her. Toward her, sorry. In the end, your plights are quite similar indeed. Just two people trying to keep what's left of their families together at any cost. But, hey, bubba, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Daphne begins to mutter something under her breath, a sudden shift in her expression catching you by surprise. My heart's already led me astray more times than I count. I can count, sorry. My heart's what led me down the stairs the day that man came into my house. My heart's what convinced me to settle in this town even when I knew it was futile. Futile. Yeah, futileness. It's futile. Yeah, you know, the same fucking thing. Different strokes, different family strokes. My heart's what told me to chase you away. Even after you proved you weren't like the others, that you only wanted to help us. I promise you, I promise you. Dun, 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 dun. Down to the words that come down, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I promise you. For those who reach up to the end, thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching. I know you got curious, but hey, here we are. It's what deluded me to thinking that if I just told you to stay out of this, you wouldn't have gotten targeted, that you wouldn't have had to share our pain or our fate. Daphne. You make effort to reach out to her, but she unexpectedly turns to face you, forcing you to stop. Wait a minute. I can love you. That's why she begins, a conflicted look in her eyes. That's why I can't make this choice. I can't choose between the life we have now, horrible as it is, and a future that for all I know could be even worse. Whether I listen to my brain or my heart, I feel like I'd be making the wrong choice. I was about to say, she's gonna say, so I want you to make it instead. Oh my god. No fucking way. This game is actually gonna be an option. You're insane. She states, matter of factly, the words take a while to sink in, but when they do, me? Huh? You reply, totally flabbergasted. I can't decide that for you. I have no right to. Yes, you do. I'm giving you that right. What is this? What is it? We're not even married, Daphne. Jesus. This is crazy. Is this it? Is this a ship? Is there romance in this goobagaloo? She interrupts you, almost offended at what she appears to perceive as cowardice. I'm going to listen to you now, like I should have listened to you the night we met. Had I just told you everything back then, maybe you could have stayed out of this mess in the first place. That's what I really owe you. Not a favor or an apology or a word of thanks, but the chance to choose. You've already shown me that you can make the right calls. Better than I can. It's because of it that we're even having this conversation now. So, tell me. Tell me what I should do now. Tell me what you actually feel. You know, do you really like me or am I just convenient company? Oh, hey, sunshine. Goodbye to the strangest part. Is this the end? Is this the start? Just the end? I got this feeling cause Rare Americans. Boom, I spoiled it for you. My god, this is... Let's see. Please, oh my lord. Daphne, this is... Oh my... A look of pure sadness and resignation emanates from our human friend, from our friend Daphne, wholly unbefitting of the woman you've come to know. Her request echoes in your ears as you stagger backward, as you're trying to put some distance between yourself and what she's asking of you. You're serious about this, aren't you? You ask the query without purpose, as the answer lies clear as day in Daphne's unflinching eyes. And yet, still, you hesitate. Damn, no, this is a heavy... It's like somebody coming here and they say, what do I do, man? What do I do with my life? This is my problem. It's your decision to make. Should I do this or should I not do this? Damn. The responsibility is now on your shoulders, and whatever happens is you have to take accountability from your decision, the consequences of said decision. My God, you let your gaze wander everywhere, from the ceiling to the floor, looking for an escape from this thorny moment in time, but it's no use. All you find in your pointless searching is a familiar feline hanging by the door, a peculiar look in her eyes. I'm ending this video right here, and my goodness, who wrote this? Props to you. Holy shit, this is. I'm nervous, man. What would Isaac say? Unless he really said yes. No decision making. This visual novel, a straight up visual novel. No problem with me. You know, I've handled this. I've read books. Is what it is. But my God, that's crazy. I'm gonna see everybody next video. Could be the next episode of this, or maybe something else. Who knows? Good luck on whatever you're doing. Big hug. Big no kisses. No. Too personal. I'm not European. So see ya. Good luck. Bye.